So we're seeing more and more threats coming in now. We're seeing fentanyl laced letters sent, take a look at this, to voting centers to prompt purchasing of antidotes. We've seen this now in 6 different states. This is very scary. My wife was just saying in the background. We watched a police show where a police officer briefly sniffed some fentanyl, and we've seen it live on his body cam. Just one tiny whiff of this stuff, and he went into cardiac arrest. And he happened to be right outside of the police office, and the perpetrator was in the back seat with the cage. And this is how potent this stuff is. And the guy, literally, from one tiny sniff of it, because he had the guy's fentanyl there, and he kind of sniffed it to see what kind of drug it was. And what was it, like a minute or two went by, and all of a sudden, while he was driving the car, he started to pass out and go into cardiac arrest. This is what is so scary about this. And take a look at what is happening now. I got this and then multiple things on how America is under attack in multiple different ways. Suspicious letters sent to voting centers and government buildings now in 6 states this month are undeniably scary. Some containing traces of fentanyl or white powder, accompanied by not so veiled threats and dubious political symbols, harkening back to the anthrax attacks that killed 5 people back in 2001. Yeah. The mailings are prompting election officials, which the election is still a year away, believe it or not. I know people think it's right around the corner, but it's still a year away. And election officials are already frustrated with ongoing harassments and threats to reach out to the local police, fire, and health departments for help stocking up on the overdose reversal medication naloxone. Even if there's little risk from incidental contact with the synthetic opioid, which there's more risk than that, remember that fentanyl is 100 times stronger than regular opioids. Having the antidote on hand isn't a bad idea amid the addiction epidemic that has killed more than 100,000 people in the US every year, and it can provide some assurance for more than stressed ballot workers, election managers say. Wow. Yeah, this is also known as Narcan. And remember, I just reported in one of my previous videos about President Biden just met with Chinese President Xi about China shipping in container loads full of fentanyl and how they're trying to stop that. And, even the materials for it. And this has been going on for years to get that under control or stopping it. And this is part of the, opioid drug epidemic here in the United States, and a lot of it is just the illegal part of it. It's not the prescription coming from doctors part. It's just the totally illegal part. Fentanyl is very, very dangerous. It's way more dangerous than regular opioids. This is the problem here. Not only that, but we also have here the massive protests coming here and the anti-Semitism that is happening here in the United States, just here happening now, again here, protesters forcing their way into News Corp NYC headquarters days after the building was highlighted on a disturbing map in which 16 pro-Palestinian protesters were arrested Friday after they barged into the News Corp's Manhattan headquarters, which is home to the New York Post newsroom, and occupying the lobby chanting "Free Palestine." This came just 2 days after News Corp was highlighted on a disturbing map calling for direct action to globalize intifada, chanting 1, 2, 3, 4, occupation no more. The group chanted outside the Midtown building while several attendees waved Palestinian flags and signs. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terrorist state. Meanwhile, remember that Hamas inflicted terror on Israel first. Hamas still attacking Israel. We have Hezbollah attacking Israel. We have the Houthis attacking Israel. And we have Iran supporting all three of these terrorist groups. Had Iran, Hezbollah, and all these groups not have supported Hamas, had Hamas not attacked Israel, none of this would have ever started. We would have not had this new war start. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. And remember here that Hamas said that they are going to repeat the first day of the war, October 7th, when they attacked the music festival and shot 2,000 missiles into Israel. They're going to repeat that day over and over and over again. This is the problem here. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Part of this is why we've had the FBI Director Christopher Wray warning terror threats to Americans are at a whole nother level, which he has come through with multiple warnings to Americans that could happen here in the United States, which we're obviously starting to see some of this happen. He says Hamas or other terror groups could exploit the conflict to carry out here on U.S. soil, which we're starting to see some of this actually happen. And then we also have the now disturbing trend of which some young Americans on TikTok say they sympathize with Osama bin Laden with his previous letter to America. And, this is really disturbing because this letter he had, which came out after 9/11, which has been promoted by TikTok influencers, which has gone viral, which has mostly been removed by TikTok, which, kudos to them, but comes with a disturbing trend because this letter to America basically says that the U.S. is at fault for them attacking the United States, which, again, that's like saying that Hamas attacking Israel is Israel's fault for being attacked. And it's like this is just backwards thinking, right? And take a listen to some of this, and you can let me know your thoughts on this.
So this disturbing trend on TikTok, Congressman Gallagher, of mostly young people, the ones that I saw, sharing Osama bin Laden's letter to America that he wrote the year after 9/11 to sort of describe all of the reasons for what he did and try to justify the attacks on 9/11. And these people responding to this letter, which has now been taken down, saying things like, he was right, this is mind-blowing, my mind is now open, are so deeply disturbing to me as I watched them this morning. And I would imagine that as people start to get a look at this, they will be very disturbed as well. Let's watch some of this.
Girl, what? They found the letter. What letter? The letter. What letter? Osama's letter.
So I just read a letter to America, and I will never look at life the same.
I feel like I'm going through like an existential crisis right now.
So this is a really good example of narrative control.
Congressman Gallagher, they go on to say terrorism was sold to the American people as if these terrorists just woke up and said one morning, we hate America. Let's go kill as many people as we can. And they conclude, one of them, that it was just our government failing. 9/11 was just our government failing other countries. What would you say about this, sir?
Well, these people are, of course, massive idiots. I just came from watching the footage that the Israeli embassy compiled about the October 7th attack. It is horrific. You're seeing Salafi jihadists, Hamas in this case, but Al-Qaeda was a Salafi jihadist organization, kill babies, behead innocent civilians with garden hose. These images are incredibly disturbing and show the true face of evil. So for someone on TikTok to somehow suggest that this is America's fault or that bin Laden, who killed thousands of innocent Americans, was right is absolutely disgusting and further evidence that we need to ban TikTok or force a sale before a Chinese-controlled app, before the Chinese Communist Party checkmates the free world by controlling the dominant media platform in America that can spread this dangerous, disgusting nonsense. It is time for a ban or a forced sale before it's too late.
Yeah, it's like people finding Hitler's book Mein Kampf and thinking, oh, yeah, that's right. In fact, if you actually see, there's a commercial going out around today that says there's like 70,000 people, mostly young people nowadays, that have tweeted or on social media that says Hitler was right. Have you seen that commercial? Let me know down below in the comments. And honestly, you're always going to have people that one way or another believe stuff one way or another. And sadly, this stuff is true. You're going to have always some people that believe one side or the other of history. Oftentimes, when you get people that believe, Hitler was right or Osama bin Laden was right, there are either people that come from that part of the world. For example, Rashida Tlaib, her family, her heritage is Palestinian. Okay, so when you hear Rashida Tlaib backing Palestine, that's because her family comes from that area. Okay, so if you're ever wondering why she's saying free Palestine and wondering why she's going that way, just look into it. Okay, a lot of the young people that are maybe saying, "Oh, Osama bin Laden," or Hitler. A lot of times they hear something and they might hear a narrative and they don't know enough about it, and they're easily swayed. They're just not informed. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I will keep you up to date. Again, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click here to see the alarming new discovery of Iran's nuclear weapons, or click here to watch my newest video next. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.